He hasn't,
There's Mick
no one's
Cronin.
forgotten their water bottle yet. That's impressive.
Well,
How many
we have help with that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It is Pac-12 Media Day from Las Vegas as we continue. It's great to talk Bruins with UCLA head coach Mick Cronin.
Yes, sir.
Coach, welcome. Good to see you. Give us a sense. A lot of change, so we'll get to learn about your team. How do you feel about the group?
I'll give you 200 if you can pronounce everybody's name right.
Okay.
Berkey.
Nope, we're already done. You already lost.
A die.
Die's correct.
Die Mora.
Oh, it's Berkey.
That's correct.
Yeah.
How are you on the pronunciations with this?
I'm good. I'm good. My problem is at times I speak Spanish to Berkey, who has to tell me he doesn't speak Spanish.
In what language does he tell you that?
English.
Oh, okay.
They all speak English, but when I need to emphasize a few things to a die, I give them to him in Spanish, so he knows I'm being really serious. So, no, it's a comedy zone at times, but it's been great. Tiger and Jaime and David aren't walking through that door, so it's time to turn the page. But we got talent, we got depth. We're just young. And I know we're an unknown to a lot of people, so it's going to be interesting. Don has seen us practice, though.
Yeah, I have, and it's interesting. And I think it's because Tiger and Jaime and that group did so much, I think it's worth revisiting before you move on to, this season, for us at least. How are you coaching differently with this young group versus having all that experience, it seemed like, for so long with those other guys?
Well, a lot more teaching. The obvious thing, a lot more teaching. Team bonding. We went to Spain this summer as a group. We have more, we got to get these guys to realize that, I know this sounds weird, but they're a team. They're going to decide whether we win or lose. Tiger's, not going to show up and save the day, or, I may plays for the Heat. So, that's a big piece of it. With the young guys, we do have veterans, and last year it was different. My approach really failed in the end last year because it was to just get healthy. In all seriousness, whether you're a 1 or a 2 seed, I thought we can win it all. But you got to be healthy. You're not. The Clippers got no chance without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. You can talk all you want about all this other stuff. So, we tried to be healthy going into the NCAA tournament last year and failed miserably. And, with Jalen and Adem going down. So that really defined the end of our season. But this year's just, look, we're going to have to get better as we go. We just got to get experience, get better as we go, and make adjustments as we go. You have to adjust as a coach.
Jesse?
Yeah, we'll go to my right in the front row.
Mark Anderson, AP.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mick, Tommy Lloyd said that you two have talked about maintaining that rivalry. How important would that be to you, and how important would it be to maintaining other West Coast rivalries?
Well, I think the big key is for college basketball is that we can continue to focus on what's best for college basketball, which has been obviously very hard to do with football and football television money deciding our fate. I think what concerns me is as I hear talk of even going past 20 league games, it's already tough enough with the rivalry stuff that you lose with these conferences and all the stuff that's going on. So the question for me, I don't even know where we're headed next year. I don't know. Am I going to be mandated 21 league games plus 2 more games and challenge games? I mean, right now it's a lot of not knowing for us, and I'm sure Arizona's in the same position with that. But things that are good for college basketball are big non-league games. I think there's no doubt about that. And, we've all been shown in the past we're willing to do it. We went to Maryland last year. We played Kentucky and New York. So I just think we got to have opportunity, though. I get concerned about the constraints of these big conferences and where it's all headed. Because I think where does it end is the question.
Maryland comes to you this year?
Correct.
So let's talk about your schedule. Ohio State, Villanova, Marquette. You'll go to Honolulu as well. What do you think of your non-conference schedule?
Well, if you look at the 8 teams in Maui, it's scary. It's a good thing you don't have to play everybody. because it's Murderer's Row. You know, we got to go back 2 times. We're going to practice being in the Big Ten. We got to go play Ohio State and Atlanta, come home, finals, go back, play Villanova. And then Maryland comes to us. So, you know, we're going to probably play 6 really, really tough games, you know, amongst, you know, then you got 20 more. So you never know, though. Like when you're scheduling these games, you used to kind of know who's going to be on what team. You know, with the transfer portal, you have no, I mean, who knows? I mean, you don't even know as you schedule games, the so-called bye games. I mean, you schedule a game right now. We're talking to somebody yesterday about an opener for next year. Well, that guy could go out and get 9 transfers and be awesome. So it makes scheduling much more tougher. We all like to know what we're getting into.
Going back to Tiger, Mick, and what a luxury for you for 4 years.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest compliments I've heard around our league in the last few years was other coaches in the league saying, I want my point guard to be more like Tiger Campbell.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is Dylan Andrews is now, you know, getting into that role. How much did he learn last year playing kind of underneath Tiger? And how much are you having to coach him up to try and get him to play a lot like Tiger?
Yeah, I think that's what I got to avoid. You know, I can't ask Dylan to be Tiger. I think Dylan's got different strengths. And I think I got to make sure that I'm allowing him to be really good at what he's good at, pressuring the ball, using his speed and quickness, being able to create his own shot, probably better off the dribble than Tiger. Obviously, very few guys run a team as well as Tiger Campbell. That's why coaches loved him so much, as you know. So there's things he's got to get better at as far as running a team. But, again, I think I got to make sure that I try to let him flourish at what he's good at.
Well, I guess the reason I asked that, too, though, is turnovers is such a big thing for you. So, I mean, yes, he's different than Tiger. Physically, but like to just get that mentality of if I'm not turning it over, basically.
Yeah, and you've seen us practice quite a bit, so you know how I am with that. We actually have the only chart on the wall during practice is a turnover chart. So you just can't win if you don't take care of the ball. You're not going to beat quality opponents if you don't take care of the ball, and you'll never win on the road if you don't take care of the ball. So, it's not just Dylan, Jan Vide, Sebastian Mack. We have a lot of young guards. Will McClendon's going to surprise a lot of people this year, as you saw in practice. So I think the general consensus to all the guys, when you have all these guys that haven't played a lot together, is you got to, for us on offense, you have to take care of the ball. Then you get a shot off. It might go in. High probability if it was you. But it might go in. You might get fouled. You might get a rebound. But if you throw it away, you got no chance. And it's, look, analytics is real. I mean, you get 20 more shots than the other team and shoot 10 more free throws, your chances of winning are pretty good. It's not going to happen if you turn it over. So, and we try to create turnovers. So analytically, that we try to win that margin of possession in every game.
Given how good you've been on defense, how do you get a young team to play defense the way you want them to play defense? Do you have to change your expectations?
Well, you start with a Dembona. You got a good shot. I'll give you another. You go back to analytics. I mean, he was top 2 player, plus minus guy, efficiency guy in the country last year. We were like plus 30 points or more with him in the game. Yeah, so I like our chances of winning. Jalen Clark going down was brutal. Adem went down, was over. For us, as far as winning, hanging at 12th banner, I like our chances if he would have still been healthy, to be honest with you. So you start with him, you got a pretty good defense. Because not only can he anchor the middle, he can defend the perimeter. And his energy level is never an issue. Never an issue. So if Don's been a guy that's trained guys for the NBA draft since his career, and a lot of guys, that you have to train them just how to play hard, how to practice hard. You never have that issue with a Dembona. And his energy is infectious, which helps your defense.
When you have a younger team, though, Mick, do you have to simplify the defensive game plan?
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it. We don't really complicate it too much other than we get to the scouting report. That'll be the issue, basics, things you're trying to take away from a team. But if you can't take away a team's strengths, they're going to score on you. If you let a team get it to who they want, when they want, they're going to probably score. You know, you got to try to take something away and make a team play in a style they're not comfortable playing, whatever their style is, or you're not going to be a good defensive team. But it's going to be a challenge. You know, I think simple is been for all our young guys has been really the theme of our fall. But you got to be good at it. You know, it's not just simple. Well, don't mistake me. It's like you got to build toughness before you have any chance. But you got to get good at something. Okay, so if you can't pressure the ball, you got to stay in front of the ball, or you can't play. You have to, and then you got to understand, like, that's not a joke. Like, you won't play because you don't score the ball as well as Don McClain did, or Tracy Murray did, or Jaime Jaquez did.
So I know it's hard for coaches because you play a zero-sum game, wins and losses. But you and I talked before and after your practice last week. How hard is it going to be for you to be patient? Because it really looks like this team, you know, may stumble a little bit early, but by February you're probably going to be pretty good.
We got a chance. I mean, we have some guys with some real talent.
Right.
Just got to get them experience. You just got to make sure you're constantly teaching. And I think you're right as a coach. Sometimes, especially the pro coaches got no problem with it. They just go out to eat. They play 82 games. But, you know, like for me, a loss is death. I mean, literally, like I can't eat, I can't function, I can't speak to people. You know, so everybody that loves me and knows, they hide from me. So, you know, I'm going to have to make sure that we understand that there's going to be just a growth process. We went through it last year. We came here to Vegas and lost 2. We were starting 2 freshmen. We weren't a good defensive team early in the season. They came in here, gave up 79, gave up 80, lost 2 games. Then I think we won 14 straight after that. So, but it does make you better sometimes because you have to look in the mirror, not just players. I'm talking about as a coach, and say, okay, we got to do something here, make a change somehow, and it maybe get more simple done.
We're going to bring your players up in a second. You gave us your thoughts on Dembona. Could you give us a thought on Lazar Stepanovich?
Well, it's just, you know, when you have so many freshmen, it's so nice to have somebody that's always in the right spot. And is extremely smart, has been really well coached, that can really help the young guys. So now I need he's such a good guy, and he's trying to fit in at UCLA, that I'm trying to make sure he understands. I whisper to him in practice. Just so Lazar doesn't know, Don, you scored 2608, 2,608 points, so the leading score ever in the Pac-12. But nobody ever had to do this to Don, but I have to go over every now and then and whisper to him, you know, you got to be aggressive. You know, you got to look to score, because you know you can't worry about being a transfer. You can't worry about fitting in. We don't have time for that stuff. So I want him to know, you know, that I have confidence in him. He's got to get comfortable quickly on this team because obviously we need his leadership.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck this year. We'll let you jump out, and we'll talk to your players.
You got it.
Thanks, Mick.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
There's Mick Cronin.